As you can see, this is what we've been dealing with, and it's constant, bringing constant rain basically, and there's not much we can do about it. It seems to hang low, as I say, like some sort of Independence Day cloud over the... Coming towards the end of June now. The rain's held off, so just come down for an hour. Managed to get a few strawberries. I'm going to get them before the slugs get them. I'm making some rhubarb and a little bit of elderflower to make my rhubarb and elderflower. The Logan berries are starting to ripen now, so quite pleased really. These will take a while to reach maturity, but they're not quite ready yet. We're doing a... Thanks to people who's posted some things about the slugs, so I'm not putting pellets down, so I will try some of the remedies that people have said. You know, the beer one seems a good idea, because they've had a good go at my new little beetroot seedlings that I've put in, and obviously, you know, I need to keep an eye on that. I mean, some of them are still okay, and I've put in some dwarf peas here. And we'll just have to see how these get on. They're in a row, all in a row here. It says they don't need any stake seeds, ones, these dwarf varieties. My broad beans here, today I've just staked them because they are okay normally without a wind, but we've had this terrible wind with the jet stream having shifted to just south of UK, and there's a prevailing westerly, and it looks like some sort of Independence Day cloud overhead when it's raining. But in this brief spell, I've just managed to stake them, and you can see that there are some beans there. So we'll be getting across. Thanks to people who posted about the trees, my plum trees, obviously these, because of what people have said over the summer, I've been pruning them in the summer, and that's, you know, helped because they're a bit weak. And this, as you can see, this is doing okay. I've put some extra stakes on some other ones. This will probably need staking in supporting this tree. Only about 10 miles down the road from Southwell, or Southwell, some people call it, and this is where this one originated from, which is one of the favourite varieties, Bramley, that grows very well around here. And I like to use other apples for, you know, for cross-pollination, and it seems as if it's not going to be too bad for apples. And my plum tree, well, this is, I've had to stake this again, but there's a few, you know, fruits on it this year. Not been very, I've not had much of a success here with plum trees, but this might be my first possibility of a success here this year. Just have to see how it gets. Just waiting now for my chicory to flower, and there's the first flower there, little blue flower there, and they say that once it's flowered, then obviously I can look at my exciting recipes, probably be in the next month or so. Staked it a bit in the storms. Biggest success as ever here on these saturated clay soils is herbs, you know, like oregano, and you've got lavender, mint, and even these little lemon scented conifers seem to like it here, and chamomile, of course, more mint and lavender, and anything to do with nuts here, cob nuts and filberts, of course, more mint. And some of my roses have done well, and of course there's a bay, rosemary, and I put these berries in from home, these blackberries, and this huge bay tree here as well. I did plant some thornless blackberry, and of course I've had plenty of elderflowers from this. It's all going to berries now, so elderberries and elder in general, fantastic plant round here. And of course anything to do with buddleias, anything a bit wild, of course. I had a go at some growing some cabbages myself from seed, and we put them in along with a few sweet corn. You can see only 2 out of like about, you know, 18 came up. none of this. Oh no, sorry. One seed came up of the sweet corns I put in. I got them from Wilkinson's. Not their best seed. So next year, you know, I might try again. But these cabbages, they're trying to hold their own. You know, they're doing the best. They've only been in for a couple of weeks. Did so poorly with my stringy beans this year, though last week I actually came back and planted them all again. On the other plot I work on, there's a few flowers come out, but these ones here, I did find some albino slugs. I seem to have got some sort of mutated albino slugs on these plots. Never ceased to amaze me how clever these you know, pests are, really. But there were a couple of albino slugs chomping away. Hopefully won't be short of vitamin C this year. The black currants and red currants, which are ripening quite nicely on plot 2. This will be the first crop that I've ever had on plot 2. With my limited capabilities in gardening, it's always a nice thing to hedge your bets with these. The gooseberries, I went for that Hinaki, I think it's called, the red one, mostly here, and they've done okay, but I've got to prune my ones on plot. This plant, I think it's a ginkgo biloba or something. I didn't think it would make it here with all the deadly fungus in the soil, because normally you know, if the pests don't get it here, it's underneath the soil of this plot, which, you know, dug over about 6 times, back and forth, you know, even little bay trees struggle. I mean, these ones have fought off predators. I really do admire them, like sentinels, these little ones here. They are a hedging plant, basically. I've tried to grow them here, and then last year they fought off all the pests, but this little beauty here seems to have done all right. And another berry that defeated the deadly fungus has done well here. And we planted this herb as well, and despite the fact it was nearly overrun with mint, it's flowered. So I didn't think this one would make it, but so there you go. It's always worth having a go to see what would survive. Been in this plot, some people say decades, raspberries. Found about sort of 20 of them being strangled by various vines at the back when I first took the plot on a few years ago, but fed them and transplanted loads of little ones, and now, as you can see, I mean, they're not quite ready, but these raspberries all along this line here, I've got canes behind them supporting them, really do seem to have come good this year. A couple are ready there, so we might have a little taste of that one. Not bad. And as you can see, come back in a few. Oh, spider there. Did see quite a few bumblebees around here, so I think they're. Oh, there's one there. Try that one. A little bit tart at the moment. That's my red champagne, which not quite as tasty as the sort of indigenous rhubarb that was on the plot, but it is a lot younger, this plant, slightly more tart than the other variety. Wonders never cease down here. A slug actually eating some sort of mushroom toadstooly thing. Would you Adam and Eve it? I used guinea pig waste dug into the soil. The only problem is, of course, it's full of seeds and things like that. You know, either ones they pass out or, you know, from the waste in general. And the only problem is, I mean, there are sort of millions of weeds anyway in it. So I'd sort of caution people, although it's sort of eco-friendly using their wood shavings waste, you do tend to get a lot of weeds. I mean, I've got my radishes, seem okay. This is my wild spot, my blackberries, and my garlic gone to seed. Of course, you can always collect that seed, I presume. Right over there, the far side there, is my tayberries. I've just tasted a few, and the beans are just coming onto flower at the moment. An apple tree that I transplanted from my garden seemed okay. I'll have to get to work on that cherry tree there. It's being attacked by some sort of leaf curl thing there, although there are a few cherries on it.